the life of a fisherman you wouldn't understand. Something you can't feel on dry land. Gotta get your arms way up in a cage and set the hook on a smallmouth bass, and then you'll understand. Gotta get your hands on a Shimano reel and a G-Loomis rod. I bet you like what you feel. Step on the deck, give it the world. Hello, welcome to my world.
What's going on, all you Facebook Live and YouTube Live fishing freaks? Hope you guys are having an awesome day for talking fishing here. Good day for a duck. It's rained all day long, it seemed like, which is okay. Got a lot of stuff to talk about this evening. Jared said we're talking about some buyer's guide stuff for Christmas. Getting close there. Also want to talk about the tournament this past weekend, the G-Loomis Owners Tournament. Also going to show you a really cool photo that a buddy of mine took down at the Green Dam the other day. Brian Justice, a really cool picture of something that I never really even thought about doing to take, but and we are going to talk about what's coming up here in the near future. But thank you guys for joining this episode of Honor the Line live. It is a big time deal when it comes to talking fishing nowadays, because it is it's wintertime, right? So there's not a lot to do here unless you live someplace down south and you have the opportunity to fish all year round, which, you know, I fish all year round anyway. So I guess I'm just one of those stupid idiots. But fine line between dedicated and dumb. I've always said that. Dino and I, what's up, my man?
I think we had a video of you and me fishing January 31st last year, as I recall, at Grayson.
Yeah.
December 31st, I should say, not January 31st.
Yeah, I think it was. But I fish all year round. Like, if I can get out, I'm getting out. It doesn't really make a difference to me. I've said it a lot of times on a lot of my videos recently, but I'm very fortunate to be affiliated with Stormer. They've been affiliated with my YouTube channel for better part of 5 years now, and I have a ton of their gear. Absolutely love it. Really good stuff. We'll talk about that in just a second. With the buyer's guide is something I'll throw out there to show you guys what I have and what I recommend, as well as something that I use all the time right now, which is not affiliated with Stormer. It's a glove that I've been using for the last year, and I absolutely love it. We'll talk about that in just a second. Yeah, man. I have done that in the past, not bass fishing, man. I'm telling you, I broke a boat anchor one time when I was a kid trying to bust the ice on a farm pond behind my mother's house to catch bluegill out of it. You know, that was back when I didn't have any gear and I was really dumb. And luckily I didn't fall in and die and drown to death. But with that being said, I have some of the best gear on the planet. But as you guys may have seen last weekend, myself and Jared Sloan was live on the Facebook channel, or I'm sorry, the YouTube channel only, talking about the Shimano Owners Tournament. So went down there on Saturday. I left at 2:00 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning on Saturday morning, and drove down straight to Conley Bottom. The tournament was out of Burnside, but there was a huge tournament. The Bradley Roy tournament was out of Burnside that day. And there was a South Central tournament out of Conley Bottom. So I just chose the lesser of two evils, in my opinion, and went to Conley because it was, I think it's bigger as far as parking goes, but it's roughly halfway in the middle of the lake. So I could find some fish. So went down there and had one of the most scary moments I've ever had putting my boat in the water. And it is an uneasy feeling. First and foremost, when I was putting my boat in the water at daylight on Saturday, it was 17 degrees air temperature. And Conley Bottom Ramp is extremely steep no matter where you put in, especially right now. It's at Winter Pool. It's 35 foot low from Summer Pool, which is crazy to think about. Some of the lakes I fish don't even have 35 foot of water in them. But I was putting my boat in the water, And where that South Central tournament had put their boats in and out, the ramp was frozen. And my truck in 4-wheel drive, I put my boat onto the ramp, and as soon as my boat and trailer hit those paths where that boat had been, pulling the trailers out, which was totally ice at this point, my truck slid backwards straight down the ramp, and my truck and boat went in the water. And luckily, the water was warmer than the air temperature. Water temperature down there was like 54 to 56, 58 degrees, depending on where you're at. That's literally the only thing that stopped my truck from going in the water, and sinking. It was really an eerie feeling. Luckily, I was able to, once I got my boat launched, to kind of get out of the path of the boat, trailer, tires, and get out of there in 4-wheel drive. It was a very eerie feeling for me, and I've never really thought about in the past, but it's something I definitely want to think about now. Is if it's going to be extremely icy like that, then I'm definitely going to wait until the sun comes up to put my boat in the water. And again, because if I would have got down in there and I couldn't have got out, then I would have had to call a tow truck or something to get my truck out of there. But luckily, everything worked out. I got my boat pulled out and everything was good. But it was a good time. Hey, Larry, what's up, buddy? I don't know why my mute mic was muted there, but
I tried to unmute myself and unmuted you. Sorry.
So anywho, one of the things that I did was put my boat in the water, and I immediately started going up the lake towards Burnside. Went into the first creek on the left-hand side, which is White Oak Creek. Went as far as I can go on the back of White Oak Creek, and found massive schools of fish. I was like, I am on these fish. It's going to be over. There's no doubt I'm catching these fish. Turns out they were massive schools of striper, and boy, did I ever catch them. That I spent an hour weeding through striper, hoping to find some largemouth, smallmouth. Couldn't do it. So I worked my way back out of White Oak and ended up going down past Conley Bottom towards the dam. Went into Fall Creek, and I started catching some fish in there, and left Fall Creek and went down and found some flats and caught some fish there. End up having 15.5 pounds in my best 5 during practice. 15.5 pound in any tournament, I feel that I have a very good shot of winning anything like that. So I went out on Sunday. Jared Sloan and I went down there and fished it, and we made the trip all the way. First off, I was catching them on a spinnerbait. On a spinnerbait that I tie, similar to the Greg Drown, or not tie, that I pour, similar to Greg Drown's old spinnerbaits. Started catching them on that, and I absolutely wrecked them on that thing. It was an awesome time. Like, matter of fact, I caught so many fish on the one spinnerbait that I had to tie another one on because the wire on my spinnerbait was absolutely wrecked. And that's the first time that's ever happened to me. That's kind of the downfall of throwing a light wire spinnerbait. But with that being said, Sunday rolls around. We're coming out of Burnside, so my first stop was 35 miles down the lake. Hop on that's about 30 miles probably. Hop on the the old Go Juice, and we were running down through. Drew broke number 71, by the way. And if you there was like 80 boats there, and we drew 71. So one good thing about that is we had the opportunity to see where people were fishing and to see if somebody was on our spot, which they weren't. Luckily, went in their first spot. Jared ended up missing a really good smallmouth on a walking bait. I'm probably guessing 2.5, 3 pounds, probably, from what I've seen when the fish jumped and missed his bait. Fished the flat that we caught, 3 giant smallmouth on. The night before, again, we caught 3, like bam, 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 and then left. I was like, we need to get out of here. There's fish here. There's no sense of beating on them. Let's just leave. So we did. Come back the next day. I ended up catching about a 2.5 to 3 pound largemouth in that flat, and that was the only thing we could get to go. We could see the fish on live scope. We could get them to chase our bait, but they would not commit. So went back into Fall Creek, thinking that the day before I went in there and caught literally 3 largemouth in 5 casts with a spinnerbait, and I was like, this place is loaded. So I left there again. But went into Falls Creek. I ended up throwing a spinnerbait, white and chartreuse, up by a log, and ended up catching about a 3.5 pound smallmouth. And then went back into White Oak, and Jared ended up catching a 12 1/4 inch spotted bass, and we ended up weighing 6 pounds total. Went from 15.5 pounds one day to 6 pounds the second day. It was a really tough day for everybody, from what I understand. They paid back first place all the way back to 15th place with cash prizes and rods. And 9th place, matter of fact, I think Andrew Scott, a guy that's around here that fishes a lot, local hammer, him and his partner ended up finishing 15th and got a Loomis GCX rod, but I think they had a little over 9 pounds. So 9 pounds is tough for Cumberland, but all in all, it was a good time. We ended up staying at this Airbnb called Alley's Place. If you're looking down there and you want to stay in Burnside, it's fairly close to the ramp. Really nice park. It's got plenty of parking. Really nice place. 2-bedroom, 2 full baths. Really clean place. So that's on Airbnb. It's called Alley's Place. It's in Burnside.
Yeah, I'm just watching all of these. As you're talking about it, I was looking at a map of Cumberland, and that's, I don't know, to people that haven't fished Cumberland like me, it's really helpful to kind of, get an idea of, where a good place to start out would be, especially, the first day that you had some good luck there. And I mean, it is just a massive lake. I mean, for us guys that are, fishing around here a lot, going to a place like that, to me, it can be very overwhelming. It's, like going to Sam Rayburn or up to St. Clair, just seeing such a big place. It's always good to have a couple creeks in mind, but you've called out a bunch of creeks right here that I can see. Where did you say was your 30 mile ride from Burnside to? It wasn't to White Oak, was it?
No, it's past White Oak.
Okay.
From Burnside, I mean, I don't think it's quite 30 miles. It's about a 30-minute boat ride. So,
so you guys fished like eastern part of the lake mostly. It looked like from where everything took out from.
Yes, I mean, Burnside's at the very tip of the lake before you get into the Cumberland River. But we were in between Burnside and the dam. We were we were past Fall Creek. We were down, there's like Onion Point and a few other places down through there. We were about, I'm guessing, probably 3 miles below Fall Creek or 4 miles below Fall Creek.
I got you. Yeah, but, I see Caney and Wolf that you were talking about too. So
yeah, so I'm going to show you guys a picture here that is really crazy. First off, right now the Greenup Dam is loaded with sauger. And this is a really crazy picture that a buddy of mine, actually a buddy of mine's son, I have him in class, was talking to me about it today, and I messaged him earlier, and he gave me this picture. But this is the craziest picture, one of the craziest pictures I've ever seen, and it's. So just to set the stage here, this is a picture of the water, and every little white thing you see there are sauger eyes right next to the bank. Right next to the bank. That is crazy. Just loaded in there.
Yeah, my little man, we took him down there, and he caught his one of his first fish too. So nice little sauger there.
Pretty crazy. I'm blown away with that. Speaking of which, while I am showing some pictures, got one more picture here to show you guys, and that is to talk about. Let me find the picture. Where did it go? Where are you?
Light line, light weights, and some grubs, and you'll have some fun catching some sauger.
Speaking of which, we're having a conversation. Let's see. Actually, hold on one second here. Let me share this video or this here. January 18th, the Spring Valley High School Bass Fishing Team's spring fishing tackle swap meet happening at Spring Valley High School. I will be there. I have my own. I'm gonna have my own table there. I'm gonna have a bunch of stickers and things. I'll probably just give the stickers away. Might have some hats depending on what I have between now and then. I'm not going to guarantee that. Um, there will be a ton of baits there that I made myself, mainly spinner baits, buzz baits, jigs, stuff like that. This is a great deal because one, it's a fundraiser for the Spring Valley High School bass fishing team. It is $5 to get in. If you want to have a table or some kind of vendor table, it's $10. They're doing door prizes hourly, but you must be in the building for you to win those. Coming up very, very soon. You know, we're almost to Christmas time right now, which is crazy. So, I mean, we're a little over a month away from this place. This thing happening. JR and I went last year. There's a lot of stuff there. There was a bunch of vendors that I didn't know even existed. And I got some really good deals on like closeout tackle. Like I bought a ton of soft plastics last year. I think I spent like $400 and probably bought $500 worth of baits.
$1 a bag, a lot of it.
What is it? Yeah, a lot of it was $1 a bag, I believe. Yeah. So definitely keep that in mind. Again, I've had a lot of people ask me when and where can they get the spinner baits and buzz baits that I'm creating. Right now, my goal is to have them on sale here first. That way I can have a decent inventory of things that people may want to purchase. I did just get an absolute load of skirts in from my supplier today. I ordered them on December 3rd, and I just now got them today, which is crazy. The USPS is crazy backed up right now. It's nuts. Like I got stuff that I've been waiting on. I also has nothing to do with this Spring Valley show, but I have been talking about it over the last few weeks that I am done with GoPro. I'm tired of all the BS drama that is GoPro, and I cannot ever get them to work consistently. So you guys saw that I had Gene Jensen on the show there a few weeks ago. He mentioned he is using DJI Action 5 Pros now, and I purchased one. So I'm going to see how it works. Should be here in a week or so. So keep that in mind as well. Mark Hickey, what's up, buddy? All right, Jared, if somebody had to buy you some Christmas gear, what are you going for?
Man, I always want tackle. And as many of you know, I'm obsessed with a lot of soft plastics. I think of all of my obsessions with bass fishing, I think soft plastics is probably the biggest. You know, hard bait wise, you've touched on this quite a bit, but I think the Inferno from Shimano is going to be a big, you know, something I'm going to be trying out. You know, it's sure it's expensive, but you know, at least we're not paying $25 like Megabass. And my hope is that it is comparable. So, you know, I'll definitely be getting some of those. Another thing I've already picked up is some of these Z-Man Graph shads. I'm interested in, you know, seeing basically their version of the minnow. And it's something I wish I would have had when we were down at Del Hollow. And something that it's got a different line tie to it. It actually goes, it's a line through tie. So they claim that helps a lot with the hookup. And honestly, I'm a huge Z-Man fan. So, you know, if there is anything you guys are thinking about, let us know, and then we can check it out and maybe add that to our Christmas list too.
Yeah, so I'll show a couple things that are expensive but are well worth the money. So here is one of those things. You heard me talking about being able to fish all year round. And Stormer gear does that for me. This is not something that you're wearing all year round. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to take this out on a 70-degree day and be comfortable in it. You are going to roast. These things are neoprene. They work really well. This is one of those things that I feel like, I wore this and a jacket. So this striker bib, I have this as well. And it's really tough to see here, but right in this area right here, there's a pocket here and a pocket here. There's also pockets down here like you would normally have in your hip section, but right here, really nice chest pockets. Really like those a lot. The other one would be the striker jacket, which I have as well. These come in orange, or I think they call it smoke. If you like to be bright color. But another cool thing about these things is that they're positively buoyant, which means that these are not, first and foremost, not to be confused with creating or not wearing your PFD or personal flotation device. That's not the case. But if you fall in cold water, one of the biggest things, or fall in any kind of water, one of the biggest things is with rain suits is that they fill up with water and they become like, they sink you in the water, which you're trying to hold yourself up. Water's cold, you're breathing, you go into basically shock at that point, at some point, and then you're going towards hypothermia. But with these actually help float you a little bit. So this is something that I absolutely love for this time of year. Again, it allows me to keep out on the water. If I was going to choose one of the two of these, because they are expensive, you're talking about $400 a piece, I would definitely buy the bibs first. You can always wear like your other rain jacket or whatever over top of these bibs, but these bibs have kept me on the water a ton. I've just now, at the beginning of this year, and I was actually in Lake Champlain. I was walking across this area to go weigh my fish in, and I caught my 100-mile-per-hour Bass Pro rain suit on a little standout on a handrail and ripped the whole side of my 100-mile-per-hour suit out. So I was really distraught about that. One, because they're really expensive. Misty bought this thing for me, but I will tell you, she bought it for me like 9-10 years ago. So it's definitely been worth the money. I think she paid like $800 for the whole suit, which I thought was absolutely atrociously priced at the point when she bought this for me. But I'm going to tell you, it's one of those things that I have got so much use out of, and it was time to replace them anyway. And 100-mile-per-hour suits are not made anymore. Don't ask me why. I know they have guide wear, which JR likes pretty well. But I am going to be switching over and using the Gill brand suit. So I actually am buying this, and these are available at Border Sporting Goods. They don't have the Apex Pro stuff because this is the most high-end stuff. But when I first saw this, I was not impressed with how the latch is up here. And if you look on like maybe you see on this picture, this is Velcro. And I was like, man, that Velcro would be very tough to maneuver, right? Because one, Velcro wears out after a while. There's a huge amount of pain in the rear end to get that on, but there's actually, it's not even actually on their website. I found it on Google. They don't do a very good job of showing it here, but on the right hand side, there's actually a zipper that goes all the way up the side of this thing. So you can literally just step into it and just kind of put one of those Velcro things over your shoulder. I really like that. But one of the things that I've just recently realized, matter of fact, like an hour ago when I was looking at this stuff, I picked up the Apex Pro X bib and the Apex Pro X jacket, which I'll show you the jacket here. But I will tell you, you're going to notice here that all this stuff is sold out. The reason this stuff is sold out is because I was talking to my Gill rep, who is Drew Sadler. Actually, he's actually Sportco Marketing. He's my Shimano rep. He's the whole 9 yards. But he was telling me the reason that these are all sold out is because Gill come out with a new suit. It's the same Apex Pro X, but it's a newer material. It's a lot softer. He said, so I'm going to like it even better. So I haven't ordered the Pro X yet. I'm waiting for the new stuff to start shipping. So that's why you see all this stuff that is out of that's sold out stuff here. There is a new version coming. But this is something that I just found an hour ago that we all know what this looks like. Looks like the AFCO Reaper hoodie, and it looks like Gill has making their own version of it. Looks like they have a zipper pocket here on top of the zipper or of the hand pockets here. Really, that's pretty cool, probably for a cell phone. I will tell you that if no matter if it's Gill or whatever brand you buy, I can't speak for the Gill brand here because I haven't actually had this one, but the AFCO Reaper hoodies, absolutely amazing. I would definitely recommend getting that.
Yeah, I like the Reapers as well. I've got two that I love that I'll definitely be using a lot more of this winter. And they're heavy, but I mean, you kind of have to have something heavy when you're out there in the elements. So I actually recently got a really good deal on some Striker brand cold water gear or cold weather gear. So they also it's Striker Ice, so it's actually made for ice fishermen, and it's also got buoyancy or flotation within it. So I'll be testing those out, and we can kind of maybe compare the two. I think they're probably the two most common brands that I hear about when you're talking about fishing or being out in the elements is Striker Ice and the other Striker bibs there that Tyler was talking about, because there's not a whole heck of a lot of options when it comes to really cold gear.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mark, you're not lying. It is expensive. And first off, I guess I have to preface this by saying I buy really expensive stuff because I get a very steep discount on these products, right? I buy the best of the best because I have the ability to buy the best of the best for lower values than most people would pay. So don't take me for being some crazy dude that has this millions of dollars to spend, because that's not it. Gill makes some really good stuff that's not that super high end stuff. Matter of fact, I think Borders has a couple sets right now that are about $200, I think, for the whole entire set. Could be wrong about that, but there are entry level deals. But when it comes to comfort on the water and being safe and warm, I don't put a price tag on my comfort. I would much rather spend the extra cash and have it to where And another thing is, you take care of your stuff, it's going to last you for a real long time. If you think about it, I mean, my 100-mile-per-hour suit is 8 years old, and it was $800. So, if I would gladly pay $100 a year to stay warm. That's the way I look at it. And it's an investment. It's kind of like rods. People give me a hard time about buying really high end rods. Knock on wood, I'll probably go out the next time I go fishing and break every one that I own. But I've never broken a Shimano rod or a G Loomis rod. I've never broken one. A lot of people break rods by stepping on them on the deck, and they're a straw. And if you crush a straw, it makes them very brittle. And you set the hook, they're going to break. So just be mindful of stepping on your things and keep everything as good as possible and take care of it. And it's a lifetime investment. Speaking of lifetime investment, I don't know if you guys noticed the other day, and it's been kind of like hush hush, which is weird. Humminbird released Mega Live 2. And it looks like that they're getting closer to becoming like second in the market. They still don't have Garmin beat, I don't think. But dude, like, I'm a Humminbird. I'm a bird guy through and through. Like, I love my Humminbird products. Like, I love my Solix 15s. I think they're awesome. They're great. I don't think a down and side scan on the planet even comes close to Humminbird. But dude, they done the buyers of Helix dirty. I mean, they freaking threw them under the bus. They're coming out with a new, I don't know if it's new series or not, but they have it is a new series. Apparently it's called Explore. Don't know anything about it. It is available January 2025. Explore series, lightning quick and laser focus on English favorite features. Let's see, Lake Master. Find your fishing spots faster with included Lake Master and Coast Master charts. So that's pretty cool. Finally, they're having something so you don't have to buy the freaking the cards, which is great. Let's see. I don't. Oh, they're so gee whiz. They only come in 9, 10, and 12 inches, and the 12-inch version is $2,700. Looks similar to a Solix, but what I was talking about, people being like thrown under the bus and Humminbird is they come out with the Mega Live 1, which in my opinion was like taking a picture with a photo or with a potato. It looked terrible. I am a Humminbird guy, and I feel bad for saying this, but they don't sponsor me, nor will they ever. So I like giving you guys my unbiased opinion. Their live forward-facing sonar sucks. They come out with Mega Live 2 days ago, actually, when it was released. And now they're saying that Mega Live 2 will not work with Helix gens, any of the Gen Helix, not even the Gen 3 or Gen 4, whatever this one is. So if you bought let's just say that Black Friday, you bought a Helix Gen 4, which I think is what is out right now, a Helix Gen 4, in hopes to buy the newest forward-facing sonar from Humminbird, you just spent $2,000 of your money that you'll never get back. They made it to where it only works with Solix, this new Explorer, and Apex series, which is crazy to me.
Dirty. Straight dirty, man. That's not cool, but I've got Helix. I've got 2 Helices, but I'm using Garmin, so I ain't really worried about it.
No, so I mean, I'm using Garmin also. I have an LVS 34, and I think it's top notch. I think it's upper echelon compared to the other 3. Like I said before, I've said it 100 times. I think Garmin has the best forward-facing sonar. Then you have Lowrance, who had the Active Target 2, which I thought was half as good. And then you had Mega Live, which I thought was even less than half as good as even Active Target. But now they come out with Mega Live 2, and they're like, you know what? They probably sell more Helix units than any other units on the market, I would imagine, due to the fact of downscan and side scan imaging. But they're a lot cheaper, obviously, because they don't have touchscreen. They have basically the same functionality as the Solix, but they have less functionality, obviously. They're a lot cheaper, but I don't understand it. Whoever is on the board of Humminbird pulled a bonehead move. And I was just reading, I want to try to find this video on YouTube, and I was watching it today during my lunch, and it was talking about Mega Live 2, and people were absolutely throwing down in the comments over this thing because they were talking about how they threw the average person under the bus, and so many people were talking about like been looking for a reason to leave Humminbird, and here's the reason. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of, I probably need to sell my my Garmin 9 that you can absolutely use with your live scope. I still haven't sold that sucker. I just wanted to make sure that I actually like my Humminbird units.
First 3, pretty sad that the latest Helix Gen 4 will not work with the Mega Live 2. I think a lot of people switched to Garmin LiveScope. Number 2, thanks for pricing regular anglers out of the market and consistently changing technology, so we have to drop thousands per year to stay up to date. The third one, I've waited for Mega Live 2, but after finding out I needed to upgrade my screen, I didn't want to be the test pilot, so I went Garmin standalone system. This won't work with my Helix, even though Mega Live 1 does massive fail. Next time, maybe time to switch to Garmin. But the video, like the end of this video, it is very, I don't know, man. I'll just show you the video. Part of the video says, it beats the hell out of staring at a bobber. I'm like, what? Hold on a second here.
Fish with the real-time action and jaw-dropping clarity of Mega Live 2. It's a bold step forward for forward-facing sonar that drops you right into the fight. Cut to the chase instead of chasing ghosts with stunning picture clarity and rock-solid image stability. Clear target separation helps you decipher between dinks and diamonds in the brush. Enhanced bait tracking keeps you on the cusp of a catch, pinpointing your lure so you can watch how fish respond. Personalize your picture with 15 different fishing-themed color palettes engineered to enhance underwater clarity and detail. Dial it in with 7.5-degree adjustments on the transducer and 3 view modes: down, landscape, and forward. Mega Live 2 mounts on either side of Minn Kota Ultrex trolling motors, your transom, or the target lock accessory if you want independent transducer control. Every pixel pops, especially when you pair it with compatible Explorer, Solix G3, and Apex fish finders. Humminbird Mega Live 2 is a blast. And it beats the hell out of staring at your bobber. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
Only with Humminbird if you have a
Explorer.
head unit other than Helix. Man,
That's brutal. Yeah.
Lightning, I did see that, and I did also, and I know it's a brand new technology, but I haven't seen any. I really haven't seen many casts to catch where I've really thought that it was like, if I was Humminbird, I would want to wait until I had technology that was outdoing Garmin. That's the only way you're going to get the market share back from having all these other people having the market share being so little for your company all the time. But they didn't. I feel like that they failed to do that. But the fact that they cut out probably, I'm guessing 50% of their market, and this is a made up statistic because I haven't done any kind of research, but I would say 50% of their customer base is probably buying the Helix series. So when you think about that, I mean, it's crazy. I'm glad that they're coming out with this Explorer. I'm going to have to dive into that more. The idea right now of my Solix, the base map that comes with my Solix, which, by the way, I have 2 Solix 15, and the MSRP on those systems are $3,700. That's crazy to think about. You're spending $3,700. Let's say that you get it on sale for $3,200, and then if you live in Ohio, where I do, at the most southern tip of Ohio, there's like 5 different cards that you have to have the Lake Master in all directions. Like the southern states, you're looking at Mid-Atlantic, you're looking at the Northeast, there's the Great Lakes, there's all kind of stuff. So, and with $300 or $200 a piece, so I'm gonna have $1,000 extra in cards, but I noticed that Explorer series already has those built in. I don't know if it has all of them. That would be sweet, but day late and $1 short.
Man, that's I don't know. I can't believe they really got away with that for so long, honestly. I mean, giving you a graph and not having any chart data on it, it's pretty crummy in general.
Yeah, and I think that Garmin has a really nice deal where if you use Active Captain, you can become part of the community, where you can upload your graphs to the cloud, and if you go somewhere, it will download that like user data to it, which I think is great because that's constantly making better and better fishing. And it's not giving away your spots; it's just seeing. I think more than anything, it is, it's a safety factor. At the beginning of this year, obviously, I was at Falls Lake and ended up hitting something with my boat, bent the prop shaft, and that was 50% to blame because the card that I bought was not the right one. I bought Southern States thinking that South Carolina would be on there, and it was not. I have to buy Mid-Atlantic states for that. Did not do my research, so 50% was on me, but I think 50% of not having just better base maps on the Solix stuff or any Humminbird stuff it's potentially a safety factor.
Yeah. I mean, why are you why are you costing people safety? You know, I mean, they're already spending outlandish prices for the technology in general. Why jab them with that too? So
I mean, I also know that they have to make a living too, but let's face it, they're making hand over fist because everybody's buying the stuff, which is crazy. But
oh yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was crazy that there's not been a big hype about it anyway. It's just kind of like they're just like released it and it's like, oh, here it is. But
Yeah,
I
I
think,
literally just heard about it today earlier, you know, and everything on my Instagram, Facebook is fishing, you know, and this is the first I've heard about it, and it came out a few days ago. So I do
yeah,
think the transducer idea looks pretty cool, the way that you can adjust it like that. I mean, uh, we kind of ran into that with my boat, Tyler, where we had to kind of move things around after we put 360 on. So I always kind of wonder where they're going with 360, if they're ever going to offer more into it. But to me, at this point, like 360 helped us some when we were at Del Hollow, but it's certainly not been worth what I've paid for it at this point to me.
yeah. Jared and I were talking about this weekend. He said that he was going to buy 360 and asked me my thoughts, and I was like, I think it's got its purposes, got its places, but it just doesn't fit within my fishing style very well. If you were a spot lock somewhere and you were throwing at a single rock pile, like if you were on Lake St. Clair and you were throwing at a single rock pile that was just loaded with fish and you were using spot lock, I could see where it would be an amazing tool. Um, but there's just very few times that I use anything like that. Matter of fact, I use Live Scope the whole weekend down at Lake Cumberland because I really don't know anything about Lake Cumberland. I was looking for fish and trying to catch them, obviously. You guys will see that video coming out probably tomorrow. But the whole idea is that, they're all tools, and that's what we were talking about last week. I think that Live Scope gets a bad rap because you're going to see, everybody thinks that just because you have it, you can actually go out and catch those fish, and that's not the case.
It's
But
a big, steep learning curve for sure.
on the backside of things, if you are on the Randy Blockhead team, he is saying that BASS has shot themselves in the foot by not offering better payouts. Slick Johnson, if you follow him on social media, he claims that there may be like 50% of bass anglers not submit their, not even like return their contracts this year, which is crazy to me. I don't get it. I understand that they're not winning that much money unless they finish in the like the top 15 or something, but they're also not paying like $5,000 a tournament to enter. So that's kind of like money in your pocket. And they're also, most of those players at that high level are not banking on winning tournaments anyway. They're getting paid sponsorship money and all that other, like almost like NIL deals for college football. They're just using their name, image, and likeness to make money from sponsorship.
When I was at Gunnersville, I met Hunter Shryock. It seemed like everywhere I went, Hunter Shryock was there. It was, I mean, very obvious to see him because I think I've only ever seen one person on an Icon boat. And, I was talking to him quite a bit about it. And he said, it really kind of sucks because the payouts are so poor. I would have much rather put the money in up front. So I feel like that's kind of the theme from a lot of these pros, which I actually messaged him and tried to get a hold of him, but you know how that goes. I can't hear anything back, but I'd love to know. Have him on the show. He's super, super nice guy, and talked to him for quite a bit.
Yeah, guys, we're about that 45-minute mark, so you guys know the routine. I'm going to hop off here in just a second. Again, don't forget about the Spring Valley High School Bass Fishing Team Fishing Swap Meet. I'll be there with spinner baits, buzz baits, jigs, you name it, should be there. I'm going to try to have some apparel there. I'll definitely have a bunch of stickers. I'll just give the stickers away. I'm not asking for any price or any profit on those. If you guys, most of you guys I know already subscribed to my YouTube channel, but if not, I'd appreciate it if you would. I've seen a pretty big uptick in all social media lately. I've been trying to post a ton, and it seems to be helping out. Right now, I have 5,072 subscribers on YouTube, which I'm happy with, but I would have a goal for the 24 fishing season to hit 6,000. I'm going to continue posting more. YouTube is weird. Like the algorithm is crazy. I'll post like a short and it'll get like 5,000 views, and I'll post a short that's actually better the next day and it'll get like 12 views. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm sure you guys are seeing a lot more posts on Facebook and Instagram. If you follow On Another Line, you're seeing posts daily. I'm trying to do that to build a better audience for these live shows. I would like to invite any of you guys to be on the show. Definitely doesn't have to be a pro. If you'd like to hop on here and fish or talk fishing with us one day, you're more than welcome. It's always fun to get some people on here. I'm going to go out and I'm going to create a new series going forward. The hunt for a monster bass, similar to what Ott Defoe was doing, but we're going to focus on one lake and one lake only, and that's going to be Greenbow Lake here in northern Kentucky. There's some absolute hammer fish in there, 10, 12-pound fish in there, caught regularly, 10-pound plus fish. Not regularly, but yearly it happens. We're going to go out and use every tool that we have. Live scope, 360 side down scan imaging. We're going to go out. Myself, JR, and Jared Sloan are going to go out and do a pretty cool video series. I can't wait to actually make it happen. We're going to use video from all three boats and have potential to catch an absolute. I mean, there's potential record bass in that lake. Matter of fact, I think that's where the Kentucky state record bass, and it was caught like it was broken like within weeks of the same guy caught the same different fish. But huge amount of big fish in there. They're few and far between, but there's some monsters in there. I think they eat the trout that they stock every year. But our goal is to go out there all in one day, and it may be multiple times this winter because it's not guaranteed that you're going to catch one. But go out there, have video cameras on all three boats, and almost act as if there are three different shows. You'll see three different personalities between Jared, JR, and myself. I can't decide if I want to create one video or multiple videos with that. I guess I'll have to dive in and see how much video we get. The problem is with Grayson or with Greenbow, you may go out there and never catch a fish, but you go out there and absolutely hammer one, and it might be a 9-pounder, 10-pounder, 11-pounder, which is crazy. But that's coming up very soon.
Yeah, that'll be fun either way. I think we'll have a good time, whether we're out there catching or just out there having fun, which, either way, we're kind of putting around because all you can do is idle on that lake.
Yeah. JR, I have your card here, by the way. I still have it.
Cool.
Anyway, so we'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be back here on Another Line Live, and got some. It'll be getting close to Christmas, so next week will be the 17th. So maybe we can drop some information for some new things. Maybe Brad at Borders will have some Christmas sales going on. We could drop you some info there. Shout out to Chris Malone at Malone's Marine for getting me the hookup with my Powerhouse lithium battery. I'll tell you, I got to be able to use that for the first 2 days of any fishing trip that I had this past weekend, and I left both of my Solix on, my Garmin on, and I ran both all four of my live well pumps the first day of practice. And I did that because I wanted to put that battery through its paces. And I did run my boat a lot. Like I ran a lot because it was practice, but I ran all four live well pumps, my LVS 34 black box and live scope transducer, my Solix 15s, both of them, and my 12-inch Garmin graph. And at the end of the day, when I checked my battery, I still had 70% battery power left. That is absolutely crazy.
It's so nice being able to see that on that app. My Ionics like that, but my lie times are not, and I do miss that. It's kind of nice to have that reassurance for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, if you're interested in getting yourself a lithium battery, it doesn't have to be a really expensive powerhouse like I have. There's some also, ionics are out there. There's tons of batteries. I'm a firm believer. I think most of those batteries are coming out of the same factory in China anyway.
Yeah,
But
different label.
yeah. With that being said, guys, we will see you next time. If you guys can get out there and lean on them, we'll see you next time on Another Line.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of On Another Line Live. We truly appreciate your support, and we couldn't do it without all the amazing folks at home watching week after week. A big thank you goes out to our sponsors, who help make this show possible. Malone's Marine, Borders Sporting Goods, Solar Bat Sunglasses, Picasso Lures, Shimano, and Columbia Sportswear. Their partnership allows us to keep bringing you the content you love. We'll see you next time on Another Line. Until then, get out there and lean on them.